Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about the little black cloud that I used to see in one of the houses that we lived in. It did actually follow me as well, but I didn't see it. I've not seen it for a long time, and I didn't see it as much when we moved. But anyway, it was maybe 5 or 6 years after the alien abductions had stopped, and one night I woke up and I was freezing cold. I was covered up still in my bed covers, but I was freezing cold and I could hardly move. It was like, it wasn't like sleep paralysis really. I don't know what you would call it. It was like I could move, but only just a little bit, and I couldn't speak. So I started praying in my head like I do, because I know by this point that it can work. But even so, it still took me time to start being able to move, sorry. Anyway, as I was coming round in the dark, because obviously it was the middle of the night, I looked towards the door, which was roughly at the end of my bed, and I noticed in the top right-hand corner, there was something there. It was like smoke coming through the door, and I thought, is that actually there, or am I imagining it? It was dark, but it was darker than the rest of the room, if you know what I mean. So it was coming through, and as it was coming through, it was like sort of coming through the door in the corner, and then going up towards the ceiling again. And then as it was like forming. Eventually it started forming into like a ball, but it was like a black little cloud, and it was like almost spinning as well, and moving, not fast, but like, I don't know how to describe it, like, I don't know, like water almost. It was like a cross between water and smoke. Anyway, eventually it went. I prayed and stuff, and it went. I only do that because I know that it works. I don't pray every day or anything. I don't go to church or anything like that. I don't feel that I need to anyway, but that's another story. Anyway, then it happened again, maybe 3-4 days later. But this time I had a weird dream first. That, I don't know. I was somewhere. I can't really remember exactly. And there were people there that I knew, and then all of a sudden there was somebody there that I didn't know. And within the dream, I became aware that I was asleep. And then I started trying to fight to wake up, and then when I woke up, the cloud was already coming through the door. I saw it coming through. Anyway, this has happened quite a lot of times in the house that I'm talking about. It happened for about a period of maybe a year, on and off. It had happened. I'd wake up and it'd be there, or it'd be coming in. One night I dreamt that there was a giant thing in the room with me. I don't know what it was. I didn't get a look at it really. As I saw it, it turned its back on me and walked out the room. It was like, if you imagine the Hulk from the Avengers, it was built like that. And then I woke up and the cloud was there. And then another time, there was some kind of weird monster that looked like it was made out of snot almost. In a dream, I mean. This was in a dream. And then I woke up and it was there. So this thing, I think, could go into my mind, into my dreams somehow, and was able to go in. One night I woke up and I couldn't move, and I couldn't open my eyes, and I felt like there was somebody standing over me, and they bent down and they put the face right into mine. I couldn't see them. This was just what I felt. I felt like the room was dark, but I was aware that something was coming near my face, but I couldn't open my eyes. And what else happened there? Another time in that house, I think I've already said this, but I'll say it again just in case I haven't. My mum went to the shop. I was in the living room. The front room was right by where the stairs were to go upstairs, obviously. And she went out, and then about 2 or 3 minutes later, I went out to go to the kitchen, which I had to walk past the stairs to get to the kitchen because I was going to make myself a drink. And I walked past, and there was a figure on the stairs, but I didn't look properly. I thought it was my mum, and then I got in the kitchen. I thought, wait a minute, She's just gone out, and I turned around, there's nobody there. That bothered me when that happened. Obviously, one of my other videos, there's a picture of me messing about because I was going to go to a party dressed up as the Undertaker from WWE. Anyway, that's the picture with the orb. I have put it on one of my other videos. I might link, if you want me to, I'll link it. But anyway, it's one of my other videos. It's not that far back if you look on the list. I've seen door handles move on their own in that house. That happened somewhere else as well. But yeah, I was in the living room early in the morning. I was in early mornings at work, and I just sat down in the armchair, and for some reason I glanced over at the door, the living room door, and the door handle started turning, and there was nobody there. I jumped up and opened the door, and there was nobody on the other side of the door. And like things like my mum in that house. One Christmas we had some trouble with the family, but she was drinking gin. I forbid her from drinking gin after this because she'd had about maybe 4 or 5 drinks. It was getting late anyway. Don't want to make her sound like an alkie, although I suppose that does make her sound like an alkie. But anyway, whatever. It got to about 11 o'clock, and she started acting weird. I thought she's upset and it's the drink. But when I looked at her, and I didn't think about this until afterwards, I didn't realise. But it was like she'd put white face paint on. Her face had gone really, really pale, and her eyes were set back, and she was started saying all these horrible things. I mean, when people drink gin, I know it can affect them like that, but it was more than that. I'm sure of it. I don't want to repeat the things that she was saying. It was the kind of things she wouldn't have said. And then the next night, the same thing happened, and then it was the day after that. I said to her, "Look, if you're drinking any more of that gin tonight," because there was a bottle, and she didn't drink it all in one day. But I said to her, "If you drink any more of that gin, I'm staying out tonight." Anyway, we poured it down the toilet, what was left. But I think drinking opens people up to possession, especially strong alcohol. Probably drugs as well. And I think that's what happened in that case. Just trying to think if there was anything else in that house. I'll have to think about that. I don't think there was. There might have been little things. But it was pretty horrible anyway. Anyway, that's what was the next thing that happened. Then we moved from there to another house, which I'll talk about. It was a flat, this place, actually. I'll talk about that in another video, though. I don't want to go too long with these videos, and I don't want to mix things up. And I will eventually try and sit down and make like a what you call it, like a list of the events. If anybody's interested in that. I've not got loads of subscribers, I know, but maybe somebody would want me to make it more clear. But anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about in this one. So if you've managed to get to the end, thanks for listening. And if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing and liking and sharing, that would be great. If you're not already subscribed, then if you could subscribe, that would be really great as well. And thanks again anyway for listening to me ramble on, and hope you enjoyed it and maybe taken something from it. And if you have any questions, ask away, and I'll do my best to answer them. Anyway, bye for now.